What up, fam? It's your favorite brother, your favorite cousin, your favorite uncle, your favorite nephew, your favorite son, your favorite father, your best friend's best friend. It's me, Dr. Larry, and welcome to Living For You, the YouTube channel. This is a safe space and a positive place in which we gather together to grow as people and to get as close to being present to living the lives that we all deserve. So welcome to the channel. Family, hey family, my folks, my people, you're my people, my family. You're part of the family as you're subscribed, so clearly you enjoy the content, and clearly we're here together to grow because I love my family. Those of you who are watching who have not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Why not? It's a fantastic place. It's a fantastic resource. It connects you to a fantastic world of positivity out here on these internet streets. And there is a lot of not so positive stuff on the internet. This is one of the places you can come and, feel comforted and know that you're valuable, you're worthy, you're good just as you are. No matter who you are, you're good. This is a place for you to come learn, to grow, to commune, to be with one another, and all those types of things. If you want to know more about me, if you're brand new, you never seen my face before, or you see my face sometimes and you wanted to know more about me, yada, 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 whatever, you can go to www.liveforyoucoaching.com. That is my business website. That is www.liveforyoucoaching.com. And if you want to follow me on social media, you can follow me at Dr. Larry Smith on both Instagram and on Facebook. That's Dr. Larry Smith. It's my personal account. So Instagram and Facebook, follow me. Welcome. All right. So I get emails, I get messages, I get comments, and because a lot of people want to know, what's a spiritual coach and what does a spiritual coach do? And I will do a separate video on that, just talking about my spiritual coach background and certification and all that stuff. But I also have gotten messages and whatnot about people saying, we'd like to see you incorporate some of that in some of your videos a little bit. So I decided to. I wanted to kind of do a little bit around the message about my crystals. I have crystals. I have 12 of them that I keep in this little sack for various reasons. If you guys do not know, everything has a component or energy to it. Whether it's you as a human, your internals, even your organs, things out in nature, certain animals. And we've seen this forever and ever and ever throughout history. Right? You go to certain cultures back in the day, and they had certain animals that they literally worshiped. They had certain entities and certain natural things that they worshiped, or they paid extra attention to nature. Well, crystals are naturally occurring stones in nature, and they have been known to have certain properties towards them. Now, I know some people say, well, that might be hokey pokey and weird and this. I venture to tell you otherwise. You can find this anywhere. If you're a Christian and you think it's weird, go look in the Bible. It's full of astrology, full of minerals and stones and crystals and things that you would not even have noticed if you didn't read for it. It's there. You go into any spiritual text, you go into any consciousness kind of understanding, you realize that we're all connected in this realm. Everything has energy, and I'm of the impression that that energy is the same energy that is in the stones, that is in the nature, that is in the trees and the animals, is in us. Some call it God, some call it higher power, whatever you want to call that energy. It's that underlying creative force that flows all around. So you find in other things like stones. So I'm going to just pick a stone. I'm going to go to the bag and I'm going to pick a stone and talk about it, and then relate my message around it. How about that? I think it'll be interesting. Here's the stone I have. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe you can. I'll probably put some pictures up what it is. It's hematite. Hematite is a very cool stone, and it's black and it's gray sometimes. Sometimes it's red. It comes in a whole lot of things, and it's actually, like I said, these crystals are naturally occurring. So the hematite is actually a stone that you find in like the geysers, like Yellowstone National Park has hematite there. It also grows at the bottom of the ocean in sitting water, usually kind of the product of volcanic eruptions and stuff like that. So clearly this is a stone that grows or that is created under intense pressure, which makes it very interesting because this stone is also represented by Mars, which is known as the war planet. Mars is Tuesday, for those of you who know the names of why the names, the weeks and whatever. But Mars, March, same thing. It is war, it is aggression, it is activity, it is interesting, it rules the Aries. Hematite also rules, it's the Aquarius birthstone, but mostly it's definitely a powerful force to reckon with. And it's been used all the time. The Chinese noticed it. The Chinese noticed Mars, of course, as the fire star. The Egyptians noticed it as the red ones. Obviously, when we talk about zodiac and planetary, how we're naming them in the Western world, that came from Rome. And so all of these things show that this hematite has been around for millions of years and have been considered a very high valuable quality crystal with healing components. It actually is a protective stone, right? It's to protect and ward off negative energies and bad toxic emotions, and it's supposed to give you protection from those things. But it's also supposed to build confidence and build your ability to do more self-esteem, self-assurance. It's one of those stones you use. Now, the power in the stone is not necessarily the stone that's powerful. So you're not worshiping the stone. What you're doing is you're just aligning your consciousness, your chakra, which, by the way, hematite is connected to the root chakra, and everything's intentional, right? So I wore the red shirt because the red represents the fire, the power, the ambition, the motivation, the intensity of this. This can be black, it can be red, sometimes gray. This one has gray spots. I don't know if you can see that. And then even the music in the background is music to stimulate your root chakra, because your root chakra is the base chakra. That is the chakra in which you are self-confident and self-aware. And when you tap into that root chakra, which is really kind of the middle portion of you, it builds confidence. You breathe it in and you live from that place. So hematite is that stone. Now, I wanted to kind of, like I said, talk about a message around the stone, and since this is a stone of action, and but also a stone of aggression, I wanted to talk about aggression and action. How about that? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about aggression and action. You know, there are people you meet in life, and you immediately are drawn into their hyper aggressive nature. I happen to have siblings who are Aries, and that Aries energy is a strong, forceful, aggressive energy. And those of you who are Aries or who know Aries, you kind of get that sense that their energy is kind of aggressive. And it's not a bad aggressive, only when it's done in excess. I'm more of a middle ground person. I'm like the Buddha. I'm in the middle. I believe in the center is where we find the best solution outside of the extremes. It's in the middle. But when you're in the extreme of whatever your energy is, be it positive or negative, it can have a bad impact. And so I think it's important to talk about how to deal with anger and how to deal with aggression. If you have anger and aggression, that energy, like I said, that energy is good when used in a positive way. However, it can be toxic and harmful to so many people around you, where people don't want to be around you because they feel every time they come around you, it's an aggressive, angry, hurt spirit. And usually that is the baseline of aggression, of an aggressive person. It's usually some type of hurt, some type of defense. They feel like they have to protect themselves, more so protect their hearts from someone damaging them. They may have been hurt, may have been abused, may have been done wrong in the past, and their response is just to be aggressive to everybody that they come in contact with. And like I said, we all know people who are like that, who are aggressive and seemingly angry. Some might say mad or mean. Whatever words you might use to describe that person, there is always an underlying culprit as to of trauma, of drama, of some type of situation that brought them to that place of being consistently aggressive. my first recommendation to an aggressive person would be, if it's something out of your control, you might want to seek therapy. Not for the sake of that there's something wrong with you, but for the sake of trying to understand why you're hyper aggressive, why you're acting out in this way towards people, and how can you reel it in so that you're able to be better agreeable with the people around you. Because we're supposed to flow together, but an angry spirit is very hard to flow with. So I'll say seek counseling or seek therapy, or maybe even a life coach initially. However, one of the things that I've learned in my own walk, because I come from a family of what I would consider aggressive people, and many times growing up, the way we showed our emotions or the way we even communicated with one another was extremely aggressive. Now that I look back after I've had so many years of therapy and I've become a life coach and I've studied that, and I've been studying other materials and things just to kind of better my walk, I realized that that toxic tendency that we had as a family of just being hyper aggressive was not healthy at all. But we were in the midst of it and we didn't even realize it. It's just how we were responding and communicating and dealing with one another in such a very aggressive way. So my natural, I guess I would say, or the trained mentality that I had growing up would be, when I'm upset, to act it out in an aggressive way. Not talk it out, not work it out in a positive way, not take time to chill, but be aggressive. And that wasn't always the right way. So now, one of the techniques that I do now is, if I start to feel within myself something that wants to be aggressive, someone that wants to come out and yell at somebody or be mean to somebody, whatever, I step back, take a few deep breaths in and out, and I relax my spirit so that I don't respond out of the aggression, but I respond out of a relaxed spirit, right? A relaxed spirit. Because a lot of times people who are aggressive don't always feel heard, and so they act aggressive just to be heard. But the thing is, when they step back, they realize that people are listening. It's not that people aren't hearing you, it's just that your approach, what you're giving off aggressively, is not a good thing. And no one wants to deal with that, nor should anybody have to deal with that, right? So this is the lesson that I've learned, to just step back, take a deep breath. That gives me time, a few of them, that gives me time to evaluate where I am, evaluate what's going on, evaluate whether or not the feelings and the emotions that I'm having about what's going on are actually valid, or am I just acting out of an aggressive feeling from emotions. So yes, so the opposite side of that aggressive spirit, the negative side, is being aggressive and dangerous and mean and hurtful and rude sometimes to people. But then there is another side to this aggressive spirit, right? This Hematite spirit. And that is being very, very ambitious, right? I've decided to take my aggressive nurturing that I got as a kid and turn it into ambition. So now I'm hyper ambitious. I fight for what I want, literally. I work very hard. I put all my all into it, and I aggressively attack goals and dreams that I have ambitiously. And it makes so much sense for me, right? I always say, I felt like I was an outsider of my family because I was the only real air sign outside of my parents. But I was the only air acting sign. But there is a hint of Aries in my soul. My Venus sign is Aries. So I love from an aggressive spirit. But that also denotes ambition. So I'm highly ambitious. I work very hard. I motivate people to be ambitious. And I believe that we can accomplish whatever we want to, as long as we put our mind, our thoughts, and our actions into whatever we want to. So that is the opposite of rude and being aggressive and angry towards other people. I am just taking that same energy and I'm using it to motivate me to be successful and to create and to express and to put things out into the world that I've been inspired to do so with an aggressive, motivational driven spirit. So I'm taking the same energy, but I'm just refocusing it in a positive space, in a positive place, so that it serves more of a useful purpose than just angrily lashing out at people because I'm angry or I'm aggressive. See, that's how energies work. Energies can be a good thing or they can be a bad thing. It just depends on how you decide to use the energy. You can be full of both of them, but you focus them through your mind and through your emotions and your will the way you want them to go. So I think it would be helpful for a person who wants to balance that energy to get some hematite. Just go get you a little crystal, maybe a little crystal necklace if you are an aggressive person or if you're a person who deals with aggression, so that you can balance your energy. Then spend some time meditating, perhaps to music like this, right? To help you align that root chakra, to where you can be confident, where you can be self-assured, but you're not arrogant or aggressive. You're taking the same energies that can create arrogance and aggression, and you're focusing it you're taking your powers and focusing it in a positive way. So that's it. Like I said, I've been asked to incorporate some more of my spiritual coaching stuff, and you know, it really, truth be told, life and spiritual coaching aren't that different. It's just the different tools and approaches that I would use if I was spiritually coaching somebody. I might give them some crystal to hold while we talk, just so we can root and ground them. I might put crystal around, you know, in certain places so we can ground our chakras and align our spirits with where we want to be. But it's just another tool. If you pray, pray. If you meditate, meditate. If you chant, chant. Do whatever you do. If you go walk out in nature, whatever you do to align your center and to get back to your whole is what you need to do to get back to your whole. So I just wanted to get on here and talk about that. Hopefully you guys find that interesting. I'll be doing that, you know, a few more times. I have 12 stones or 12 crystals that I have in my trusted little crystal sack. So I'll just randomly pull one and then talk a little bit about what the proponents of that particular crystal is, and I will just get on here and just create. Now this is now don't get upset if this seems like it's all over the place sometimes, because this is actually not like I'm doing an outline and I'm planning. I'm pulling a crystal randomly and I am discussing it based on what I know about the crystal and my information that I have of it. You feel free to Google, look it up. I might even post more information about it in the community section, and all that stuff. So I hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed sharing that with you. If you want to know more about me, my life coaching, my spiritual coaching, you can go to www.liveforyoucoaching.com. That's all about me, and you can find out more. Maybe even you can schedule a one-on-one coaching session or several for yourself or for a family member that you might think deals with aggression possibly, and we can work our way through that process. That's it. You guys are my family. I love you with all the love in the world, all the love beyond the world and in the universe. As high as I can love someone, I love you all. And as I always say, I'll see you all in the next video.